Here we are after San Francisco.
San Francisco
Training
tree.
out and power, and eating a lot of food and staying up super late.
I didn't stay up that late.
I
You
did.
You did.
I sure did.
I'm not a night guy.
You sure aren't. You start to break down.
You know what? It's not even that I start to break down, but what's the best that's going to happen?
Ah, dude, you missed it. You fucking missed it. After we're done, first of all, I can always tell when Brennan's is getting tired because about 10:30, 11, he looks like he's about to sneeze. I want you to make your face like you're about to sneeze. Just always going.
Eyes get a little red.
I'm like, hey, man, you mid-yawn? You about to yawn here or you about to sneeze? What's going on? Oh, I'm tired. I'm broke down. All right.
I've never said broke down in my life. I just go, how much conversation can I handle in one day?
You fucking missed it. We went out. We raged, me and Jay, and then Ryan and Joseph. We went out, and you guys went to bed, man. We went to this bar called the Cigar Bar, and they were dancing in the other room. We didn't dance, but then we had drinks.
And you can't talk to each other.
It was loud, but we sat there, and I met some people I didn't know, and then we sat at this table, and we fucking drank, and we talked, and then we talked more, and then they were like, we're closing up, and we're like, okay, and then we talked even more, and then we drank, and then we got I went home. Woo!
And I always know when you've been up late because then you wake up in the morning, I'm like, God, dog.
My face
Can I
gets
give you a
swollen.
cold towel and a fucking cucumber to suck on?
My face gets swole.
Mine does too. It's because we're eating like we're off our diet.
Yeah.
So we eat whatever we want.
A whole bunch of sodium, just wine, just guzzling it. But notice I didn't eat shit. As you get older, can't eat at night. The old enzymes don't work as well.
Well,
I don't know what it is.
yeah, I don't know, man.
Either way, I'll tell you what.
San Fran was fun though. Cobb's was fun. Second Friday night crowd, little rowdy.
Oh, they were.
Thursday night, no AC.
Thursday night got a little hot, and I was hot. We were all
both hot.
Everybody's a little low energy. I was
But it was a great show. But it was just hot.
No doubt.
Super hot.
No doubt.
And then when the VIP people got on stage, like, oh my God, is this what it's like up there? Like, all show. Those lights are beaming on you.
Yeah, it was a little bit, it was good though. San Francisco.
Went some good restaurants, trained out with our boy Tark.
When you have nothing to do during the day, typically, I think most people you'll roam, you'll go and look at clothing, touch the clothing, and then you'll eat too much. Oh, there's a Greek yogurt over there. They put salt and yogurt, and there's no
that
sugar.
was so good.
I'll eat the shit out of that, and then I'll have a pizza, and then you know what? I'll eat a pork shoulder sandwich as well.
You went pretty nuts on food.
I'll stuff my face. Yeah, if I don't have anywhere to place my energy,
well, if it's new, I'm down to try the new food.
And I'll have 16 cups of coffee.
You and I had about 16
We
cups
did a lot of coffee drinking. Anytime we see any coffee place that looks cool, hip, with reclaimed wood on the walls.
We're in, aren't we?
Yeah, and the baristas have their faces look like pin cushions. Mm-hmm. They got everything is just, I'm going to pierce even my cheeks. We're like, must be good coffee. Because you guys...
Just because they offer the piercing doesn't mean you have to do it.
That's right. That guy tucks his sweater in. All right. Complete nerd, but he's embracing it, and his face looks like a pincushion, and his whole body's a doodle pad because he just got general tattoos. It's got to be good coffee here.
And it typically is, isn't it?
It typically is. Typically is. That guy's wearing a headscarf and clogs. I want his coffee.
I agree,
okay?
man.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree,
That guy's never done a push-up in his life. I want his coffee.
How about the workouts we did with Tarek?
Good stuff.
The one was pretty tough.
It was tough. Tarek can use your body weight.
My trap is bound up.
And you're in very good shape, but he bound your trap up because you were doing those.
Well, it has nothing to do in shape. I'm injured. It has nothing to do with being shape. I'm in shape.
In other words, you injured yourself.
I injured my trap.
Well, Tarek
I did 1,000 overhead presses.
Right.
My trap went, nah.
Yeah, I did this thing with Deion Jordan. It's fun to be in the mirror next to Deion Jordan, who is 6'7", would you say?
No, 6'5".
6'5"?
Maybe 6'5". 6'6". Tall dude.
6'6".
I'll give him 6'6".
270.
Nah, I don't know. He's lean. Probably 260.
He's not lean, Bubba. He's. I mean, you see his ankles and his. I mean,
lean means muscular.
No, there's no.
So
fat
lean
on
means
him.
muscular.
Yeah, there's no fat.
Lean means not.
But a
fat.
giant frame. I mean, just a giant frame.
Athlete.
Yeah, athlete. And
super freak.
To see, we were doing. So Tarek would have us do. We have to do 50 push-ups. I cheated, and then you'd have to do. You'd have to do these sort of like where your hand would go down to your knees, and then you'd basically do military press with no weight.
Overhead press.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then you would take, then you'd hold your hands up and you'd do these you stand up and sit down, stand up. Then he had to take the medicine ball.
Like standing lunges.
Yeah. Did you
from
do
the ground? Yes.
Did you do the medicine ball where you're on your knees? You take the medicine ball
then
over your head and slam it down?
Then you do a medicine ball slam.
Right. Well, I was doing 25 pounds.
50 of them.
You were doing 50 pounds.
Yeah.
Dion was doing 50 pounds.
50 of them.
I'll get you. We'll break you down.
That'll get you.
Then
and then did you have to run in place?
No, I had to go 4 rounds. And when I say go 4 rounds, I mean hide from Tarek as he was touching me in the face.
My boy sent me a video because I was hyping your box up. They sent me a video, and he goes, check out Bryan doing the mannequin challenge. And my buddy Tarek's moving around boxing, and Bryan's just frozen, standing there.
Yeah. Well, remember,
like this.
And that was after he had counted the 20 times he hit me. Because I was like doing my stuff and I was waving my glove and I was doing all my cross guard and he was keeping his hands up and I was hitting, you know, that Philly shell, that Floyd Mayweather, you know, the one boxer, there are 2 boxers in the world, Floyd Mayweather and Bernard Hopkins, and then there's Bryan Callen.
And then you do it.
Well, then there's Bryan Callen because I do the cross guard.
And your trainer lets you get away with that?
Well, apparently I'm that good and I can do the cross guard now. The 50-year-old actor. So this Bernard, let me go again. Let me say it again. Bernard Hopkins, Floyd Mayweather.
Why'd your trainer go, keep doing that. Keep doing that.
Take some, look, because he believes in me and he knows.
Because he wants your money.
He believes in me and he knows I'm
going to
get there.
Keep doing it.
Tarek decided that wasn't a good idea, and I started hitting him because he had his gloves up, so I was teeing off on his gloves. I mean, bop, 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 and then he began to open up a little bit. And he began to hit me. It was very quick. I didn't know how.
Then you froze.
Well, I began to freeze because...
Yo sends me a video. Mannequin challenge. I'm like, what the fuck?
And then he had me in the corner. I was like, hey, I don't know what to do at all. I think I'm going to duck my head and run away. I'm going to run at an angle, which is kind of what I did.
Funny.
Yeah, he got some video on that. That was pretty embarrassing.
How about the video I showed you? Because you can hit some mitts. I posted the video of you hitting mitts.
I sent that to every one of my idiot friends like Sasso. I said, watch this 10 times. And watch your mouth. Shh. I sent Crystalia, I go, understand that I'll piece you up anytime I fucking want.
I sent it to Rogan, went, watch your P's and Q's next time me and Kelly come in the office. Didn't respond.
I like Frank Grillo, who was like, yeah, but keep your fucking right hand up. Did
he say it on Instagram?
Yeah, it was great.
Oh, man.
It was great.
There's nothing worse than that to me. Whenever you post, if you have someone hitting mitts, I don't know anyone who knows boxing that comments on Instagram videos of someone hitting mitts.
He was just messing with me. Frank was just
but the right, you see, right foot's coming off the ground, bro.
Hey, I'm an actor. You're damn right. I'm a 50-year-old actor.
Don't worry, they do it to anyone who posts that.
Anybody?
Anyone.
Really?
Go to anyone who's posted a video.
You've gotten tips from waiters who say you got to hit your knee when you go for a double leg.
And I said, go get me my goddamn chicken lettuce wraps.
Give him a chicken wrap.
Good advice. Do you have those chicken dumplings? And shut your fucking mouth. Because you're fucking up your tip. I got a tip for you. Shut your mouth.
Shut your mouth. I would grab him by the wrist if I had your hand strength, and I'd squeeze him a little too hard.
That's assault.
I go, thank you so much.
Nobody
can prove when you push his 2 wrist bones together and they touch.
There might be a little.
Now look at me in the eye. I'm gonna make your wrist bones touch. Make your wrist bones touch. Because I got crazy palm strength. I have regular fingers, but look at how long my palms are. And I just make his bones touch. Oh, that's a touch. That's a bone touch.
That would hurt.
That'd be fun to have that leg.
Special A and Chin joined us first time. That's your first live show, Chin?
No, I went to one like in Irvine.
When you didn't work for us.
Yeah, when I wasn't part.
So like, what was that, a year and a half ago?
At
year
least,
ago?
yeah.
So you went there as a fan, Irvine?
As a fan.
And this is your first time being behind the scenes. So we're going to release, I don't know when, but Chin was there with a video camera, getting all the behind the scenes, everything. You got Bryan backstage, Shark Guy's Doll Smile backstage, a.k.a. Jay Schaub. You went to GoPro with me.
That was awesome, too.
That was
Meeting
cool,
your
right?
brother was freaking awesome. I always get to hear the stories and how great he is. I got to pretty much stand by him the entire time behind stage and get to know him there. He's freaking cool as hell.
Your brother's the guy one of my go-tos for getting the... So you can get your political information from reading, which I do. Problem with reading is that you're going to get a theoretical understanding, right? So you're going to get something about, immigration, and I'm reading different points of view from journalists. Then there's another way to get a point of view, and that is from people who actually work in the marketplace, who work in the real world, because they have a very different perspective. Somebody who runs a business who has to deal with illegal immigration, or somebody who, like your brother, who's a computer programmer specialist who deals with a lot of like
Indian.
Yeah, he deals with. So he'll be in a room sometimes where it's literally all people who don't speak English. But
Smells like hummus.
They're being outsourced, right? They're being outsourced because it's cheaper. It's just a different perspective. It's very interesting. So get perspective from both angles. But your brother is thorough in his knowledge.
Smart dude.
Thorough. If he says something, if you ask him a question about something, like there are people like that. I don't know. Like he retains everything he reads. Yeah. He's got that computer fucking brain.
Yeah, we call them nerds.
Yeah, where he will read something, you go, if he says it, I promise you, it's got 15 different sources.
It sucks.
Right? I know.
It's hard to argue with
Getting in an argument with him must have been a bitch, right? Because if he...
Well, my dad, my brother, and me are all the same way.
Wait, what was that like? Did you guys...
They all should have been lawyers.
But would you disagree on much?
Oh, nonstop.
Really?
My dad comes in town on Thursday.
I need to be at the table.
I have to hold my tongue.
Is your brother going to be there?
No. Oh, he comes in first week of March for the Big Brown Breakdown. Oh, you're out of town then, too?
Yeah. But wait, so when you guys have arguments, it must be very interesting because Jay, I bet your dad is thorough as fuck, too. Maybe? Not less. Nobody's as thorough as Jay. Jay comes guns loaded.
When it comes to sports, it's tough to be as thorough as Jay and I. But the thing is, too, my dad's not as on the pulse, I would say.
Well, Jay...
When it comes to politics, he is. When it comes to other things, not so much.
There are people you'll have an argument with, and they got their guns loaded. They got their first regiment there. They're going to fire off their first volley.
They got their points.
Yeah, and then they got air support. They got air support. Then they got their snipers in the back. Okay, holy shit, I'm getting taken apart. But then you come back. But then what you forgot about is your right flank. And
he's like got the Persians and we're the Spartans.
That's exactly right.
I got a good first initial attack. Then after that,
that's it.
That giant Persian comes in.
They come in. You got the
sends the elephants.
Forgot about your left flank.
Immortals.
That's it. Forgot about your left flank.
The lady with 3 tits.
Yes.
Remember that movie?
I do.
Didn't they do a 300 follow-up when it sucked ass? It was from the woman's perspective.
Let me ask you a question.
Get the fuck out of my face.
If you were with a woman, she pulled her shirt off and she had 3 really nice tits. 3.
Triple the fun.
Right? I don't know if it would bother me that much. I'd be like, hey, you
It'd
freak.
Bother you. Have you ever seen Total Recall? She has 3 titties?
Yeah.
It's just not normal, is it?
It's not normal, but
There's some guys with 2 dicks, though.
No, but what 3 tits, before you go to dicks, 3 tits, do you think it would, if she was super hot, you'd power through?
100%. Well, I don't know.
I think you would.
Like 3 perfect ones?
Yeah.
It's like a fucking package. Remember those? Well, they're not Skittles. Remember they're chocolate, hard candy shell on the outside, chocolate in the middle.
Yep.
Not M&Ms.
Anyway,
very rand. You know what I'm talking about, though?
Yeah. What?
Like a 3-pack of Gobstopper. Well, that's what the titties
3
would look like.
Oh yeah, a row of 3s.
What clothes would you wear? You have to get custom everything. Like it's expensive.
Yeah.
There's no, Victoria's Secret.
No cleavage. You have 2 cleavages. 2 sets of cleavages.
It would look weird. You know there are guys with 2 penises, though.
I think there are women with 3 tits, right?
I don't think so.
There's men with 3 tits.
No, I think there's... Pull it up.
They have like 3 nipples. They have a little nipple down here.
Yeah, I think there are women.
You're going to get a virus on your computer. Please pull it up.
Well, don't Google women with 3 tits. Major virus.
How do I even type this in? So, guys and girls with 3
girls
tits?
with 3 tits.
I think we're going to a porn site for sure.
Somebody was like,
maybe put women with 3 breasts. Girls with 3 tits. You're gonna get Chris Hansen. Like, excuse me, what was your search?
Okay, yeah, the first one from Daily Mail. That's good.
3 breasted women, Jasmine. Okay, let's go ahead and click on that for me.
She says not a hoax.
She silenced her critics.
3 breasts. Well, is there a picture of it?
You can see her down here. I only see 2.
I see 2. Where's the third? Is it like hanging from her gut?
Oh, you can see it there, the middle one.
Oh, shit, look at that little titty in the middle. That's nasty.
Ain't so little either.
Nah, it's not big.
But
looks like a doorbell.
Her nipple is pushing against her.
Yeah, that.
Hey, man.
Hey, not for me, man. You talking about that doorbell? Talking like the motorcycle light coming your way?
If you focus on just her eyes, you're not going to worry about it, though. She's busty. Although
it's
I don't know.
It's not as scary as I thought.
Yeah, but I don't.
Well, once you get those bad boys out in the open, they start flopping around, that'd be scary.
The woman 3 breasts is lying. All
but
right.
that one's
fuck, she's lying?
That
yes,
was
this
like,
woman.
Hey, girl with 3 breasts dances bikini. Go ahead and click on that for me.
Dances in bikini?
3rd breast is fake. That bitch.
Oh, crap. This is probably...
If you guys want to see the whole video of this chick, Just go.
That guy's gross.
That guy's fucking. We definitely don't want that guy in here. Okay.
All right.
That guy doesn't jack after that at all.
Oh, yeah, that one's like a few days afterwards that says it is lying. Same website, so she's got to be lying.
But I had a buddy in college, or maybe it was high school, I forget, but he had like the nipples, then he had like a little one down here. Yeah, there's guys with 3 nipples.
Oh, nipples, yeah.
And I'm pretty sure there's guys with 2 dicks.
Well, there are children that are born with a prehensile tail. Is that what's called prehensile or whatever? They're born with the
tailbone
of a tail. Yeah.
Yeah.
So in other words, that's what evolutionists talk about, the fact that we had a tail. That's where your tailbone comes from. How cool would it be? I can't believe that we evolved out of tails. I would love to have a tail.
Yeah, don't you remember Shallow Hal? The guy had a tail.
I'd love to have a tail for real.
I don't think you would. Pants would be tough. Sitting down would be a challenge.
But a tail that actually moved, that I could I could.
You talking about like a long lizard tail? That's sick.
Yeah. Like that, like Jay Moore does this hilarious bit about Christopher Walken, where he really did ask Chris Walken. He goes, would you rather have a tail or be able to fly? And Chris Walken, before he even got out fly, he goes, tail, fly. I got airplanes, tail. Walk in, my tail's up. People go, don't fuck with Chris today. I'm wagging. And they're like, he's a good guy. He's in a good mood. It's Jay Moore's bit. It's so
wagging.
Funny. He's wagging.
It's hilarious.
I hope I did. Yeah, he did it on TV. It was so funny.
That's so funny.
Tail's up. Don't fuck with Chris.
I don't know what you're gonna do with a tail though,
story.
unless it's like a kangaroo and you can load that bitch up and whoop people's ass.
Oh my god. Yeah, but you could wrap it around somebody's
Hey, for sure, rather fly.
No, but if you're
if
you're making out with a girl and your tail's like coochie coochie coo, you know what I mean?
Well, you kind of have one of those in the front, don't you?
Yeah, but I can't move it. I can't coochie coo you. I would like to coochie coo the way you do, like with your finger under
like
a
on
kid's chin,
like this.
Coochie coochie coo. But I'd coochie some. Well, I might coochie coo her cooch.
Well,
what?
Anyways, Agent A, did you have fun in San Fran? Go ahead and jump on that mic for us.
I had lots of fun.
Is that your first live show?
No, I went to one when you guys came to San Francisco in January.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That was the last time we were at Cobb's, right, B?
That's right. And you had your twin there.
Yeah, my best friend, A.K.
You guys look identical.
Everyone says I don't see it.
I thought, what? Really?
No.
Yeah.
She's also from Eritrea.
She's Ethiopian.
I knew it.
Right next door.
What did you guys do when you left us? I wonder what you guys do. You don't. Neither one of you seem very wild.
No, I had to head back home. So I went and took a little nap and then went back on
that
work.
night?
Yeah, because I had work at 5.
Damn.
Yeah.
You are a gangster.
2 gorgeous girls, though.
Thank
you guys are. You could paint the town if you wanted. I don't know what that means, but
yeah,
we're a couple of African.
Chin, what
queens.
the hell did you do with your time off?
I just hung out with my friend Joanne the entire time.
And what'd you guys do?
I like Joanne.
She's cool, right?
Yeah, she was cool. Got a little excited during the VIP pictures, but
so what? She was
do
good.
something funny. I'm like, well,
but she seemed to like you.
We've been friends forever.
Oh, okay, so it's just like that.
I got friend zoned real hard with that one.
Oh, you
really?
did?
Yeah. No, I'm kidding.
Oh, I was like, what's wrong with her?
Wow, that's sweet.
So it's just friend zone.
Yeah,
just
just friends.
How long have you known her?
I'm gonna say 15 years.
Damn.
She was from Orange County, and when she started she got work at Mozilla, that Firefox place, so she moved here, moved to there.
And what did you guys do?
We did a lot of walking. Remember, after the shows, we actually walked back from the club to her house or her apartment, and that took like 40 minutes. So we would just hop into different bars.
That's cool.
Grab a drink, keep walking and talking, catching up.
That's pretty cool.
That's what's good about San Francisco.
Yeah. It is nice to walk around there.
Yep.
How about a lot of the fans brought us weed? We got a lot of, like, people bring us gifts. We got bags of marijuana.
Well, how about the fact that I'm not a big weed smoker, but I took that weed pen that I got from one of our guys, and I took
the guys from Moon. Remember Joey Diaz talking about the Moon stuff? Those guys are from San Francisco. They came there.
Moon candy or whatever.
Moon something. But they gave us bags, all the Moon stuff. It was really good stuff.
Man, I took one hit of that. I was like, I'm going to try this. I'm going to start taking my pot smoking more seriously now that it's legal. And I never do. And I was like, this didn't do anything to me. I was like, all right. Like that. I was
in your hotel room?
I was in my hotel room, and I was so high that I bumped my head on. I was like, I went I washed my hands and I went to get like a towel, and as I got a towel, I went gang, I bumped it sideways somehow.
Dude, they gave us this. They had all sorts of stuff. They gave us weed gum too. He's like, it's nice to chew on a flight. It's real relaxing. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. And I was in bed watching TV, just a smacking on this gum, and I was all
out.
Yeah, fell asleep with gum.
That's a problem.
I feel like that's a danger.
Yeah, that's a problem. I don't want to ingest it because I don't know how much hash oil is in there. And you take the wrong amount, and you're going to get ha.
No, you just pass out, really. No one's ever died from it, nothing.
Just pass out.
Just pass out. You might wake up a little groggy, though.
Yeah, old groggy.
I thought that was interesting. That's the first time at a live show people were like, here, brought you guys something. Like we were Joe Rogan or Joey Diaz.
It's pretty cool.
It's funny, huh?
Yeah.
I remember you couldn't figure out what to do with all the bags. I remember Jay had a bag, and there's another big bag. They're like, how the hell are we going to bring this back?
Yeah.
So is it illegal to bring back if it's legal in California and legal in Colorado, but you can't? Can you transport it on an?
I don't know how that works. I think in California you can bring it, right? As long as you're not bringing I don't know because it's legal. Because as long as you're not bringing massive to distribute, I think.
But that was a lot.
I know that'd be super suspect. Weird. I don't know how that works.
I don't know how that works. You got weed candy. You got weed. It's still It's still a federal crime, right? But it's a state.
But it's legal in the state of California.
Yeah. And so I guess the way it works is the Justice Department would have to decide to enforce federal law that trumps state law. So they
haven't done that though.
No,
right?
but they could technically. The big problem with weed is that because banks are federally insured,
I know you can't put
your money in the bank.
That's where people have to hire this private security because people know you have this huge amounts of cash.
Yeah, and they should. You should allow. Why don't you just let the banks?
Isn't it weird?
Do it?
It's money.
It's money. You can tax it.
It's a business too. It's a legit business.
Yeah.
Look at Denver. Denver's thriving.
If people want to get high, let them get high and make their.
Then we watched the UFC fights at Tarek's house.
I watched that Holly Holm, Germaine. What's her name?
Randamie.
And
thoughts?
My thoughts on that were that I actually had. Germaine did a really, really good job of stopping the takedown. She's a better striker, or very good striker, I should say. But those two shots after the bell, you got to take a point away. You got to take a point away, especially she connected so hard and wobbled Holly. I think you take a point away then, and then you do it again. It's a lack of discipline.
Yeah, I think I watched it this morning, and I thought my takeaways from it are New York definitely shouldn't have high-level mixed martial arts. They're not ready for it, from the judging to the refereeing.
Can they bring a ref in
all the way down?
Can they bring Herb Dean and those guys in from other play? I mean,
well, it's commission. So
right.
the other thing is what was that? The end of the second and the third where she did that? I think it was the second.
Second and third.
It was the second back to back.
Third.
So the second was bad, wobbled her. There should be no leniency there. There should be a point taken away automatically. And you can say that's the heat of the moment. I don't care.
Right.
You cannot have that in the sport of mixed martial arts because it was a free, open shot that changed the dynamics of Holly Holm and her fighting. It wobbled her. It was the hardest shot in the fight.
100%.
So then she goes the third round, right, in which Holly won the round. And then end of the third round, she does the same thing. So she obviously is doing it intentionally, has a problem. And you don't take any points away? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Exactly.
What the hell is wrong with you?
She threw.
And Holly won that third round.
She threw three punches.
I had Holly losing the first, barely. I had Holly win the second.
Yep.
You take a point away, that's a 10-8 round. I had Holly win the third. Take a point away, that's a 10-8 round. I had Holly clearly win the fourth and fifth. And then people go, oh, look at the CompuStrike numbers. You can never bank on CompuStrike.
Why not?
You just can't because it doesn't do a good job of breaking down exactly what is going on in the fight.
Okay.
Because if you look at the way the fight went down, I'll get balls deep in this tomorrow with Phil Davis on the Big Brown Breakdown. But when you look at the fight, Holly was had octagon control. She controlled the clinch for 9 minutes of that fight. She landed more leg kicks. So then you go, oh yeah, but Germaine landed more punches. Okay, well, how are we going to dictate what's more important, punches or kicks? How do you want to do that? And then how are you going to dictate that Holly was the aggressor the whole fight, controlled the clinch, controlled her against the cage? What points are you going to give there?
Right.
So how can you? And then the point scoring system was ridiculous. And then how do you not take away a point?
Right.
In that set, you have to take away. It's not. There shouldn't be a warning.
I would imagine the judges are boxing judges or have done.
We don't know.
Yeah.
We don't know. You don't want to.
So they're going to go.
assume.
They're used to. My guess is because it's New York.
It's 2017.
My guess is they're probably looking at the head strikes more because that's what they're schooled in. Whether it's probably boxing or something.
But then again, octagon control.
Yeah.
Clinch. You look at the time of the clinch, and I feel bad for Holly, man. That's 3 in a row, and you lose a fight like that.
She fought well. She did really well.
And then what's even the worst? And I had money on the fight. I bet on the fight, and I was biased for Anderson Silva. Anderson Silva did not win that fight. Not even close. Give him maybe one round. Probably 30-27 Brunson.
Really?
New York fucked up. And I tweeted this out. If I was a contender, like say I'm Tony Ferguson, Khabib, Conor, someone with a huge, like where a lot's riding on it, DC, Rumble,
you're not
enjoy
fighting
that.
in New York.
No way. I'm like, no, I just can't. Until they get more advanced, until they catch up with the game, there's no way. And then nothing's worse than someone goes, I can't leave it up to the judges. The fuck are you talking about? That's like saying the NFL you can't plan to win the game in the fourth quarter. Should have done the first.
Can't lose by just a point. Can't win by just a point. It might
Isn't
go
that
the other
weird?
way.
It's like, well, but that's the game.
Yeah.
That is part of the game.
Of course.
The refs and the judges, this is our game.
Sometimes you win by a nose hair. But
you should be able to. The judges, you should be able to hold accountable. Nothing happened. They go, well, all right, we fucked them. See ya. We're huge Anderson Silva fans. Sorry.
Right.
What?
Right.
My entire career was banking on that, man. Sorry, man. How crazy is that?
I thought Anderson was going to retire in a dramatic fashion, but
nope.
He just
probably gets a title shot next.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's tough.
Probably fights Bisping next for a title shot.
The rematch. Interesting. Well, enjoy the guys waiting in the wings.
They're not even worried about that. He'll retire after that.
Yeah.
They don't care about that.
Crazy,
right?
Champion. Yes.
Yeah. And the whole card, I looked at the matchups and I was hard on the card saying how shitty it is for a long time. I looked at it, I'm like, it's actually fun matchups. Probably one of the worst cards we've had in a long, long time.
Well,
from no finishes to bad matchups to huge favorites to bad fights to horrible reffing to bad judging.
I thought it was interesting that the minute Jacare got on top of, didn't even just took down.
That's how that goes down.
Tarek got up and goes, it's over. And I was like, what do you mean? Bosch could fight to his feet or something. No, not with Jacare. Not when he's on top of you. It's done.
It's a stupid fight. It's a stupid fight. It's a toss-up. It's like
my feeling, I swear to God, and I might take heat for this, but when I see Anderson Silva and I see the sort of the age, the hand of time on him a little bit at 40.
Talking about that powerful dad bod?
With this USADA testing, I want to see, and I'm being serious about this, I want to see a guy like Anderson Silva at 41 juiced, at least to the point where his body is responding the way it used to. And if that means taking some testosterone and human growth, for me, I want to see that guy fighting again at that level.
It'll prolong his career for sure.
Yeah.
No, I don't think you're going to take
and exciting, and I think that's an exemption. I think he should be allowed to do that. And they used to have it, right? I mean, your testosterone was a certain level or whatever. You were able to at least balance it out. But
where do you stop that at?
That would be the debate.
Because you can't say, all right, Anderson, you can do it. And then what happens? Let's say I return to fighting.
Yeah.
And I go, well, I need to do it.
I'll tell you what I would do. I think I would do it this way. And I bet you there's a metric for this. And it would probably be up for some scientific debate. But let's just say if your testosterone levels as an athlete are consistently below X, whether it's 500 or, I think there's free testosterone. I don't know enough about it.
It's 300 to 1,000 male testosterone.
So I'm sure that there's a way to come up with sort of a golden mean, right? A sort of a mean
where everyone can get there.
Yeah, where if you're 200, if you're down to 200, 150, well, and for a lot of reasons, you might be overtrained, you might be older. There's a lot of things that happen to an athlete. Head trauma. Let them get their testosterone
to 750.
Yeah, or something
everyone
like that.
Everyone can come in at 750.
Yeah, I feel that would be. I really feel that would be pretty.
This is the problem. with that theory, and I'm not against it. The issue is the night of the fight, I can show up at my level at 750. During camp, I can have my level at 3,000, so I'm fucking jacked.
Right.
And then I tailor it just enough to be under the limit the night I fight.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to wheel kick your eye
Which
out.
I'm sure was happening. Yeah.
That's what's happening. That's what guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's too tricky of open door. Either you got to say, all right, all PEDs are legal, like like baseball did for a while.
Right.
Where remember baseball was in the fucking can, and then they just turned a blind eye and were like, oh, guys are doing stuff crazy, and then homers are, and baseball's back, and they're like, oh, you guys did that? That's ridiculous. We're cracking down on it now. Like the UFC could do that.
Sure. Could you do it like where you can't get your testosterone over a certain part? Like you can't.
You have to check guys every day.
Yeah.
I mean, just every day.
It's very tough.
Let me know how expensive that gets.
Very tough. I guess you have to have a.
It's just not worth it
standard.
for them. It's not worth it for the UFC.
I think it makes for more exciting fights. I think you'd have a much better Anderson, and we would
Still
love it.
41
as fans.
You also Anderson even at 41 with TRT is not Anderson Silva in his mid 30s. It's just not.
Just ain't.
No, you look at Arnold. He's jacked on TRT. Does he look like Arnold in his 30s? I mean, no.
Yeah.
If Father Time doesn't give a
Father
fuck how
Time.
much you pump in your body.
Father Time doesn't
it
care.
just doesn't. Because TRT is not going to really help your reaction time, your
Right.
quickness, the brain trauma he suffered, all the injuries he's accumulated over the years.
Yeah.
There's a lot that goes into it. I'm not opposed to saying certain guys get TRT exemptions, but if you're going to do that, I mean, you're getting ready to open up the floodgates.
Especially if you've been doing it your whole career, even if it's in micro doses, and then you stop. A lot of times, what happens is your body has a very hard time, kind of producing its own testosterone.
Yeah, but there's ways to ways to recoup that and recovery drugs, stuff like that.
Right.
Yeah. But it's all Anderson's 41. You just got to chalk it up. Maybe you shouldn't be fighting anymore. But then he goes, probably fighting for a title shot, bitch. What are you talking about? I'm about to get paid. So.
You think they'll give him Bisping?
Yes.
Really? Mm-hmm. Wow.
And is it right? No. Is it fair? No. Do I want to see it? Not really. Is that what's going to happen? Probably. Because the WME, IMG, all they care about is ratings. Yeah. You think Yoel's a panty dropper in the ratings? Mm-mm. You think Jacare is? Mm-mm.
God.
Anderson
it's becoming like acting, man. I'm serious. Where they go, you have a number attached to you. What kind of a draw are you?
Yeah, but act, at least those guys are a draw. That makes sense. Because you're pretending.
Right. Well, but I'm saying.
UFC,
Well, no, UFC, though, we know who should get a title shot based on merit, based on fight and ability. And yet you've got a bunch of agents and people like that in Hollywood saying, well, what's going to make our bottom line better? How can we stack the cards so we're getting more views? And I understand
they're going to realize that
it kind of taints the sport.
Well, because they go, look, UFC 208, we kind of, made some matchups that we thought were fun. I'm sure the ratings are going to be, it's record breaking.
It's like saying
the gate was because New York doesn't get high level MMA and probably shouldn't be getting MMA right now. But as far as pay per view number wise, I can't imagine it doing well. I mean, it's going to do decent. UFC always does good, but it's not going to, knock your dick into the dirt.
Well, it's a little bit like saying, well, the Cleveland Browns are in the Super Bowl. They've earned it, but they don't have as much a draw. They don't have as big a fan base as say.
So we're going to put the Steelers.
We'll put the Steelers in there.
I know.
Fuck off.
Well,
no other sport operates that way.
The people who are getting fucked, if you think about it, guys like Jacare.
Yeah.
They just tossed him, Tim Boach. So I bet Jacare gets Luke Rockhold. So Luke Rockhold's going to be ready to go pretty soon. Or they do a rematch of Yoel Jacare.
To see who gets the next title shot.
Meanwhile, while Bisping fights
Anderson. Jacare beat Yoel. Yoel beat Jacare. Come on. Again now. Okay, so we got another close fight like that. We already know. It taints the sport. It's bullshit. It does not make the sport pure. It doesn't. The point of sport is competition. Is honest competition. It's why we have drug testing, actually. The idea being behind it is keep the playing field equal.
Yeah,
the great thing about sport
to your point, B, I think if you're going to focus solely on the entertainment aspect, you need to get rid of the strict testing.
I agree, because then now you're dealing with WWE.
It's contradictory.
It's contradictory.
But honestly, I think remember that this testing went in place when the Fertittas were dealing with them.
Right.
If WME bought them before, you would never have the strict testing. They don't know what the fuck's going on. Lorenzo wanted to make it a pure sport, so when they sell it, that it's pure, and you don't have to worry about guys falling out because we're gonna do the strict testing.
Yeah.
But I'm sure WME, if they could, would get rid of it. If you're solely focused on entertainment, get rid of the golden snitch.
Get him fucking
get rid of all that.
Yeah, get Anderson juiced to the gills. And
if you want
faster,
if you want pure
more
entertainment,
aggressive, more confident.
If you want the Mark McGuire, Sammy Sosa days,
I do.
The Pride days, release the hounds.
Yeah. Well,
because that's what you're showing us. Because if you're a purist, as strict testing as possible, and the rankings actually mean something.
That's right.
Which means Damian Maia's fighting next.
Exactly.
Jacare Souza or Yoel's fighting for the title next.
Yes.
Anderson Silva's not even in the
So what happens is you got these guys waiting in the wings, doing everything right.
Well, it puts each weight class on pause.
Yeah, and it also puts a number, and like you do with actors, which I understand with acting, but it puts a number, a popularity number on fighters. So you may be the best fighter, but because you just don't, you don't really get the ratings, your number is lower, so you just sit this out.
Isn't that business?
Until you're
Isn't
too
that
old.
business, though?
I don't think it's sport, and it bothers me because most sports are not run that way. Most sports are, you beat that guy, you get the next guy. And especially fighting should be that way. Boxing has always had its weirdness and stuff that way, but because of different divisions, but we all want to see the best fighter fight the other best fighter.
Because the All-Star game is based solely, in the NBA, is based solely off fan voting, whoever's the most popular. And there's some guys who might probably better than other guys, but they don't play because they're not as popular.
Yeah, but the other thing that we all like to see...
It's also just an All-Star game.
The novelty of really understanding and knowing who the best fighter in the world is. Who is the toughest guy in the world? I mean, who is the baddest dude in the world? I want to see this.
In what weight? You're saying in weight classes?
In weight class. I mean, that's what's fascinating. I think that ultimately will win the game. Will win the day. You just have to give people the ability to show their best foot forward.
I also don't think it's all completely up to the fighter to have to raise their star quality value. I think it's up to the UFC to promote them and tell their story.
Correct.
Because they're like, let me just focus on training and winning every fight possible. You guys deal with, you guys are basing my agents and managers. You guys get me in the right position to become a star.
Yeah,
I'm just going to keep winning.
Right.
You line up the very best guys in the world, let me win, then you make me the star.
That's right. Instead of having guys where it's not really their thing, now they got to talk trash. They got to create a whole fiasco around it. So media, which I understand is a business, but media becomes really important. And for the guys that just are not that way, they're just not, it's not their thing. They're just pure fighters, pure athletes. Now there's all this pressure for them to kind of like step outside and kind of like create hype. Not everybody's just Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor's got a golden
It's going to get worse too with WME. You're going to see guys on Conan, and you're going to see guys in movies and on more TV.
Yeah, that's why I think it
diminishes the product.
Yes, I agree. I think that whole thing is compromising the sport for those reasons, and it's a fucking bummer, man. It's a bummer for people who are real fans of the sport, and I find it insulting to guys like Jacare and Yoel Romero and all these guys. And for that matter, Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Well, he's fighting for a title.
Yeah, he's fighting for a title, but still. It's tough.
Well, he's fighting for a title, though. So
yeah.
His issue is he's in the same division as Conor, who can do what he wants because he's such a big star.
Yeah.
But he's fighting for a title, so he doesn't have much to complain about.
Looking forward to that. Yeah, so it goes. And I don't see it getting better anytime soon. I would leave the testing up to the commission, and I would have Reebok out of the deal, and I'd let fighters have their own sponsors. And then I would just strictly go by the rankings.
Yeah, you're just going back to
strictly by the rankings. Who's the best guy? Who earned the title shot?
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a weird world these days. I
heard, on a separate note, I heard something interesting. I had dinner with this very wealthy hedge fund guy this morning. I'm sorry, breakfast this morning. And he's going to talk. He helped Charlie Munger. I didn't tell you this. You know who Charlie Munger is? Warren Buffett's right-hand man.
Okay.
The guy who kind of helped him build Berkshire Hathaway, like very wealthy, really amazing guy. He's 91 years old.
Dang.
He still lectures all over the country and still, I believe, is still active in Berkshire Hathaway, Warren Buffett's company. And he wrote a book called Poor Charlie's Almanac, I believe it's called. And it's basically the way he thinks. because he's got this amazingly well-organized brain and stuff. And it turns out my buddy was one of the authors of the book. He's in the cover of the book. I was like, nice. I got to read it. Yeah, it's kind of, so it's cool to have breakfast. So what do you think? What do you get from him? And he said, Charlie Munger's really good about saying this. Like he'll say, every year, think about what idea you're holding on to that you can let go of for another idea to come in. Keep changing your brain, like keep changing the way you think. Is there an idea that's outdated in your brain? Is there an idea that you hold on to, a perspective that you hold on to that's holding you back, or that is maybe outdated, or that maybe you don't need anymore? I
or
never
that
thought
didn't
of that.
work.
Yeah, and I don't even know what to make of it. I just heard it, so it was an hour ago.
Yeah,
I don't really know.
I
have to think about it, but it was kind of interesting. The way like really successful people, and at 91, he still is active and still giving. So he's going to give this speech at on Wednesday, and probably 500 top executives are coming to listen to this man speak at 91. And a lot of the way he speaks, and he says a lot of the secret to being very successful, the way he has been and Warren Buffett has been, is learning how to organize your brain along those kinds of lines, like doing those kinds of techniques. And I can't wait to read his book. It's been on my fucking list forever, but that's really interesting. What is one idea that you're holding on to?
I don't know. I'd have to think.
Me too.
One idea is in regards to what?
Maybe a pattern of thinking that we all have. Like what is the way we maybe approach problems, or what is a mental habit? A mental habit that you have.
It sounds
that's
like
not
maybe
as helpful.
an idea, letting go of an idea so a new one could come in. Because habits and ideas are completely different.
So it could be but I think it could be like also a belief structure, a belief system. So I'm trying to think of an example of that, but like they're like almost like probably I would imagine somewhere along the line of like if you define yourself very strongly along certain lines, maybe they're cultural, and that tends to hold you back.
Sway your judgment.
Sway the way you see things. Sway the way you speak about things. Sway the way you react to problems that come your way, right?
Yeah.
Which sometimes people can be like, fuck that. And they go into warrior mode right away.
Yep.
I don't know. I have to think about it.
it.
It's kind of interesting, though. I was like, damn. It's rare that at 50, I hear somebody say something and I go, huh? I never thought of that.
91.
You know what I mean? He's 91. He's been around a long time. Still active.
The tortoise.
Still active.
Active tortoise.
An active tortoise. Still
Active, rich tortoise.
He's an active, rich tortoise.
What
did Warren Buffett say famously about money? What he said, because he lives in the same house, I believe he has for 30 years. Said, my life isn't, now this is Warren Buffett, but he's like, the only difference between me and most of you who have some money versus a lot of money is I travel differently.
Oh, yeah.
Because I travel differently.
That's
I don't have to worry
motivating.
about it. I know. I fly a private jet. Quote. I was like, really? With that money? I'd be doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Be having some parties.
Terrible quote.
Well, it's simple. He's a simple guy.
Fly private.
Yeah, but fly private, but that's it. He lives in the same house.
I'd have to see his house.
Simple.
What's his house
very,
look like?
Very modest.
Is it?
Yes.
Maybe inside it's all gold or some shit.
Yeah.
Or underneath he has this bunker. It's just a huge 7 fucking bedroom pimp house.
Would you have servants?
No.
I wouldn't either, because you have people in your house, right?
It's a nice house to begin with.
Yeah. It's
pretty modest, actually.
Yeah, for what
super
he is.
modest.
Yeah, for him being as rich as he is.
I think it's 4-bedroom.
It's a nice house, though.
Not really. Look at his neighbor. He's got a neighbor. What do you mean?
No,
it's not a mansion.
That's one house.
It's far from a mansion, though. It's nice. It's a nice house, but for the richest man in the world, he's one of 8 of the richest men in the world.
No, I agree. It's not great for. It's not great for the rich man. That's not a small house, though.
I think does he have more than one home? Well, he must, right?
Yeah, modest.
But he's been living there. It's funny. That's a little much, right? I mean, come on, man. I'd be spending some money.
He also lives in Nebraska too.
Yeah. Go ahead and keep that.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
He probably travels a lot too to talk and do meetings and all that stuff. So he's probably never really home.
No, he's probably at the Ritz-Carlton penthouse.
There's Ty Lopez doing a video outside his house.
This guy?
Yeah. I can't figure him out.
Interesting.
Yeah, a lot of people say the same thing about him.
Ty Lopez?
They don't know, like, how did he get rich and why is he always showing his cars? And
he wants to come on here.
He's got books. And
yeah, I just texted with him last week.
Oh, yeah?
Good way to find out.
True.
Yeah, I want to ask him some questions.
Let's do some current events, Chin.
Sure. Can I ask you real quick though? Did you talk to Bryan about the trip at GoPro?
No.
You didn't?
Not at all.
Can I tell him?
Well, sure. We didn't talk about it at all.
There was a part during the.
I was like Tony Robbins, by the way.
He was.
Really?
Yeah.
I got to my Tony Robbins on.
Oh shit!
The people at GoPro were freaking awesome too. Super nice.
Yeah.
And there was one host, and he was asking Brendan questions, and then TED Talk style, and then he would just kind of slowly bring up. So how does Bryan Callen, fit in this picture? Well, how much of a part of it was he to you? And then Brendan literally got emotional. He started getting emotional, and then me and his brother are kind of like choking up too on the side. We have no idea what to do, but he went off on telling how big of a deal you are in this whole thing. It was freaking sweet.
That's very moving. Thank you.
And then I switched it real fast because I tell the room was like, everyone was about to cry, and then I went.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I went.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I went, God, you guys can go back to your desk and be like, Brendan cried. And I was like, I can still beat up everyone there. I will cry.
Dude, that's
and
pretty
I will
awesome,
punch in the
though.
face.
That is kind of cool
cool
that you're that emotional, but you can also beat everybody up.
Nah, not
I was
really.
watching our boy. I was watching Brendan, hit mitts. We were hitting mitts with Tarek, and he was beating us up. And I always forget how much bigger you are than most people. And also, I always forget that you were a professional athlete. Like, when you see guys hit mitts, that they can do it and stuff. And then I was watching him with his the speed. And I said to Tarek after we were in the thing, I go, because I said to you when you get on, I go, dude, you're fucking fast. Even not just for a heavyweight, but for anybody, your speed is crazy. And then I said to Tarek, we were in the elevator, I go, am I wrong, or is he ridiculously fast for his size? And he goes, not for his size, for anybody. He's a fucking ridiculous athlete. He goes, that's the next level athlete. It was so fucking funny. I was like, well, I'm going to have a tough time sparring you, bro. Do you know what I'm saying, bro?
Hey,
even with my new technique where I close up. Because I
thought Tarek was going to ask me to spar. I thought he wanted to spar. I'm like, I would literally be like, I'm not doing it.
You thought he was going to ask you to spar?
I thought he wanted to.
I saw that because you guys.
Because he was like, let's go. And I was like, oh, well, I'll do body shots.
Yeah, I saw you. That was weird because you guys got in the thing and they were just going to move around. And I when he said, let's go like that, I went, are they going to spar? There's nobody has a mouthpiece. So this would be a very bad situation.
Even mouthpiece couldn't pay me enough to spar.
No. And yeah. What did you say? I'll go body or something?
Yeah, I said, I'll go bodies with you.
Ugh, I wouldn't want to go body. That would hurt.
Better than getting hit in the head.
Ugh. When was the last time you actually sparred?
Last camp. So
you took to it like a fish to water, though. You didn't look
3
like...
years ago. Well, I hit mitts every day.
Yeah. Well, it's different than sparring. It seemed like you...
Well, I mean, sparring, I did it for 10 years.
Yeah.
You forget.
No, I don't forget.
Like, when you're like, you can box. Like,
well, no.
gloves, champ, yeah.
No,
a little bit.
No. It's not... I know you can box. But what I was surprised at was after... Like, I didn't know how... your speed is pretty crazy. Like I don't know. I mean, your hand speed seems like it's just different. It's just interesting. It's just interesting for me to see when you get close up.
Shark Guy's doll smile got in there, hit some mitts.
Yeah, he did.
Jay Schaub did.
Jay doesn't care enough to do too much exercise.
Strong guy though.
Strong.
He does 30 to 45 minutes of cardio every day. Works out at 10 o'clock at night. No, he's an active dude.
No, I know that. You don't know it until Jay takes his shirt off. He's actually super muscular.
Yeah, he's like,
I swear to
Ben
God.
Stiller and Meet the Parents?
Yeah.
When they're like, here, where's the speed limit? He comes out, he's kind of jacked. Like, where the fuck did that come from? That's my brother. You saw my brother's hog, I caught him slipping in the shower.
I'm telling you.
I went, Bryan, get out here. You got to see this thing. Jay's going, no.
He's trying to get his underwear up, and I run out completely naked of the shower. I mongoose my head around. I crane my neck around, and I'm like, and I see it. And
the original golden Hagoso.
Let me say something about his Hagoso for a second. I just want to say this.
Was I lying?
If we did an MRI and I saw that it had lungs and an elbow,
some joints up in there,
I would not be surprised. That thing was just this giant. Like, I felt like maybe I'm exaggerating, but I felt like when I saw it, it went, ooh, it made a noise.
It is. It is girthy and long.
Girthy.
What I tell you, it's like a dark purple.
Oh, it's just a big, heavy.
Weird.
Picture an eggplant with balls. It's just a giant. It's an heirloom eggplant with balls. I was like, is that thing breathing?
Elephant, just a baby elephant trunk.
Honestly, it pissed me off. Because I was like these.
Oh, I caught him slipping too. It's like I saw Bigfoot. He came out of that shower and went, Bryan, quick! Because I knew Jay was going to try to get his shorts.
He's trying to get him on too.
I said, don't be gay, bro.
He was giggling and falling over as he's trying to yank his dress.
I went, Bryan, get in here, and you came busting out shampoo in your hair. I went
sprinting out.
Yo,
yep, there it is. And I got 1,000, 2, 1,003, 1,000, and it was gone.
Release the
gone.
Kraken.
But remember when I put on his MeUndies and I wondered why they were stretched out in the dick area? They were tented up. I was like, what the? Who's been using these? Who's been camping in the backyard using this as their tent? That's literally what it was like. I was like, only a human head would push these MeUndies this high up. Because it was literally like a giant pouch where I could keep walnuts in case I was hungry.
Weird. It's like all stretched out.
Yeah, I'm like, it's all stretched out. Is this an extra like food pouch? The way a marsupial?
It looked like he was missing the cup.
Literally.
Yeah.
I was like, why? My dick is coming up short. I got a lot of room to swim in this. And it bothered me.
And when I came
around, when I came around the corner, I wanted to be like, nah, I got you. What?
I told you.
He dwarfed me, and my willy pulled right back in like a small turtle. He went. I heard him go, I don't want to play with the big boys. I'm going home.
It took us about 6 years to get there, but you saw it.
God, it took a long time.
You're welcome.
Unreal.
It's tough to see that.
And when he takes his shirt off, that's the other thing. Like I saw him, he had his shirt off, and I went, "You're really muscular.
Yeah,
you have a very good body.
Yeah,
but his posture's shitty." Because he's at a computer, and he wears clothes you never know, But I was like, dude, you're 220 pounds of solid muscle.
Is he 220, 230?
Yeah, he's 220, 220. But
he
was 240.
Bigger forearms than me. His
100% bigger forearms than you.
And just white as it gets. Just pure white.
White. And David Blaine. He's got a David Blaine face.
Serial killer,
Not the hair, though.
Serial killer. He's like Dexter of computers.
Greatest.
All right, Chin, what do you got? And I just want to...
Sorry, buddy.
Let's mark it down the calendar. We saw that golden Hagoso.
So glad you brought that up.
That El Grande Hagoso. We caught that motherfucker slipping.
That thing breathes.
In the shower.
It breathes and you can fuck around corners because it's got joints.
And it went, Achoo!
Oh, man.
It had a bit of a sniffle.
The first story is a pilot. She came into a plane like late, and she didn't have a regular, what do you call it? Captain's
uniform on?
Uniform, yeah. She didn't have that on. So she was in regular everyday clothes with a hat, and then she went on the intercom and started talking about Trump, Clinton, her recent divorce, and started going off, and all these passengers started leaving the plane, like dozens of passengers.
Was she drunk?
That's the thing. So they haven't even released her name yet.
This bitch is Denzel from Flight, sounds like.
Exactly. So, yeah, these people started leaving. And they had to get obviously a different pilot to come on. So they were 90 minutes late. But this actually happened like yesterday. And it was from Austin to San Francisco.
I'll tell you what, man. You want to turn people off? Keep bringing up Trump and Clinton. Keep doing it, man. Especially a fucking pilot.
Also, when you're a pilot, I'm getting off that plane too, right? I mean,
that's what I was going to ask you guys. I would be out of there. I wouldn't.
I'd be out. Especially if you came in regular gear.
Hey, why is the pilot in flip-flops? It's like our buddy who's an actor, he was hanging out with this guy who was doing blow all night. And my buddy was like, that guy's doing a lot of blow. And he was just life of the party, drinking. Want more drinks? Like, I was having a great time. Wow. Well, I got to go to bed, dude. It was like 4 a.m. I got a flight I got to catch at, 6:30 a.m. in a private jet. So he gets on the jet. My buddy, he's fucked. He's wrecked. He wasn't doing blow, but he's drinking. He's hanging out, just wrecked. Gets up, he slept 2 hours. He's lying in bed. I can't wait to fall asleep in this private jet. Holy shit. Oh, that fucking guy was crazy. That dude was fucking nuts with the blow and shit like that. And all of a sudden he sees the cockpit door open and the guy walks out to go to the bathroom and he's like, that's the fucking guy who was doing the blow all night.
What's up, fellas?
Oh, he was like, that guy. And he was like,
did he get off the plane?
Sure didn't.
Wow.
Because there was only one plane out.
I don't care.
He goes,
I would not
here
do
goes. Here goes nothing.
Yikes.
I hope you got that autopilot on.
Yikes.
Cokehead.
This lady, though, she'll probably get fired, I assume, from United?
Yeah, so they didn't say they even fired her. They took her off. I guess they're going to suspend her and just find out what happened. But
she had an argument with her crew members, too, in the front
she was talking about, when she was trying to step in.
Obviously,
they're telling her to
go
get
up
off.
for a sec. She was wearing a ball cap
Yeah.
and casual clothes.
And that was the pilot for that plane
Jesus
to leave.
Christ. Yeah, I need you to look professional.
She had a breakdown is what she had.
She did, yeah. She's going through a divorce, too. So who knows if she wasn't.
Why you gotta get on the mic
drugs.
though and give us your opinions?
Well,
on
she
Trump.
was arguing with the flight staff. Then she grabbed the mic and she goes, "Yeah."
She literally had a level 5 breakdown.
Mm-hmm.
Just
And
like,
she asked the passenger, said, "Do you mind if I fly the plane in my civilian clothes?" Passengers gave her a pass. Many found her request endearing at first.
She said, "Sorry, I'm late. I'm late going through a divorce."
Yeah. It seemed very friendly, nice, and cutesy. Then she said, "Sorry, I'm late. I'm going through a divorce."
Oof.
And I thought, uh-oh.
The pilot pointed out 2 passengers at the front of the plane and noted their race, one black, one white. Then that's when Reese began to tweet.
So, y'all, I'm shaking right now. I just left my United Flight 445 because the captain demonstrated that she was not mentally in a safe space. Then she identified an interracial couple in first class, I think in an effort to say, "Yay, unity."
But it was awkward.
She's like, "I don't care if you voted for Trump or Clinton. They both suck. They're both shitheads," or whatever said. When she changed the subject to the plane's imminent takeoff, Reese began to shake. Another passenger began videotaping the drama. "So I'll stop and we'll fly the plane. So I'll stop and we'll fly the plane," the pilot said in the video, which has since been removed from YouTube. "Don't worry, I'm going to let my co-pilot fly. He's a man." All right, well, okay, if you don't feel safe, get off the plane, but otherwise we can go, the pilot said, still sounding cheerful in the video, as the first of her passengers began to revolt. "Disarm the doors," a flight attendant said. "She's not mentally fit to fly," Rice remembered telling an attendant as he waited for the door to open. The attendant gave him a knowing look, he recalled, but replied, "She's been cleared to fly." Still watching the drama in the seat, Moore told the Post he saw an off-duty pilot call the pilot over and try to calm her down. You don't want to have to calm your pilot down. That's you don't want to have to calm your pilot or your surgeon down. Those are two.
He heard one flyer yell "Stop" at the pilot. Others were crying as they started to stream back to the terminal.
Well, don't cry.
Don't cry.
Yeah.
People were pleading, "Please call security."
Oh boy. Well,
I mean, even small things I would freak out. If it was just something weird, a little bit weird from the pilot, I would be like, maybe I want to leave.
Pilots and surgeons. You don't want your pilots or surgeons tired, drunk, high, or pissed.
I told you I had a surgeon who's a big fucking deal. Goes, "Bro, don't get," and he did a surgery on me. He goes, "Bro, don't get surgery done by me before Wednesday. It takes me about Monday and Tuesday to recover." I went, so you take Monday and Tuesday off? He goes,
I never forgot that.
All right.
Because he parties so much.
Dude, he goes hard in the paint.
Don't get surgery by me Monday or Tuesday. Do it on Wednesday when I've calmed down.
Schedule that bitch on Friday.
Check.
Before happy hour started.
Also, don't do it. Yeah, there's all kinds of things. Don't do it like before lunch or something. Do it after lunch.
What else you got, Jen? That's ridiculous. I would not put up with that.
Yeah. The other one's a two-parter.
I hate flying.
Did you guys watch the Grammys?
Sure did.
You did?
Amazing.
So you saw the Adele thing.
Yeah, the Adele thing was dope. Go on to your current event.
Yeah. Well, that's part of it. So the first thing is she did a song, a tribute to
George Michael.
George Michael, yeah. And then she messed up. Who's British? Yeah. She messed up like in the beginning. I guess something where the audio dropped off for a second and she heard a guitar tuning. And then she went into the wrong key. So she was singing in the wrong key. So you had to restart the whole thing, even though it's a live show.
Which I thought was dope.
Yeah. It's like the first time it's ever been caught on camera.
She literally just, did you see it? She goes, stop, I can't do this.
I've got to do this. I'm going to get it right.
She goes, I can't do it, especially to George. I thought it was dope. Then does it, kills it, which I thought that part was cool. I thought the Grammys were a bit, and I love the Grammys. One of my favorite nights. I watched it freaking all the way through. It was a bit of a shit show last night. Like with Metallica and Lady Gaga, his mic was off.
Yeah, that's another one.
So he's and going,
oh, no.
What the fuck? So then they focused on Lady Gaga. And I thought Beyonce's thing was a little too, it's like.
Because she's pregnant?
No, I don't care that she's pregnant. Her titties are in my face. I actually enjoy that. I thought the whole production was kind of like, you're a singer. I mean, you would have thought it was fucking King Tut in that bitch. Let's relax a little on her.
I
like her. And then Childish Gambino. I'm not Childish Gambino. I'm sorry. Chance, the rapper. Yeah. That guy likes Jesus.
I didn't even see his part.
I didn't see his part.
Oh my God. He got this is glory to God. God is first. God's the only reason why I'm here. Amen. Who's your God? I'm like, all right, that's cool. When's the second one? again, I'm going to talk. Glory to God. That's all you got, huh? And then he gets up there, and and not that I have a problem with it, but it was Grammys, fun, some hiccups, BET night. And it just went straight to, I was like, what the?
BET night.
I asked my girl, like, do you switch it to BET? Are these the BET awards? Why is there a gospel? And it's just it just went straight. They're like, let's save the blackness till the end. I have zero problem with it, but there was it was like a fucking Oreo cookie, man. It went a little black in the beginning, white, then at the end, black. Like, no. And then Adele wins, and then album of the year, Adele. Okay, see you.
See you later.
But it was, because think about it, went Chance the Rapper, then Tribe Called Quest with the Black Power thing. Then it went to that jazz thing, John Legend. And it's I have zero problems with it. Hashtag zero racism.
Just an observation, yeah.
Yeah, but I was just like, for sure, maybe mix it up just a tad, maybe a little dash of Adele in there, maybe a little Blink 182. I thought was dope was 21 Pilots. Did you see their speech? Because they won, I think, Song of the Year or album. I forget what they won. I don't know. But they won some album. They've been cleaning house, 21 Pilots. But
how is I'm sorry.
Check it out. Let me finish the speech. So he goes, when they announce they won, they take their pants off. So they have their tops on. They take their pants and walk up. And they usually do weird shit. Like the MTV Awards that they did, they were like in mask. And they're like, this stuff is all gimmicky. We don't deserve, we don't like awards. We're against the man. I'm like, all right, relax. And then now they call them to win their award. And they take their pants off. I'm like, here we go again. I like their music. I'm like, here we go again. And they get up there. And it was actually really cool what they said. They went, I think 4 years ago or 5 years ago, he goes, my friends and I would always watch the Grammys, and him and his band were there on his couch watching the Grammys. He goes, we were just chilling, we were all in our underwear. And my friend who won the award with him, he looks at me, he goes, dude, how crazy would it be if we won a Grammy? He goes, dude, when we do, we should do it in our underwear like this. And then when they got up there, they were in their
That's
underwear.
cool.
It was dope.
That's cool.
And he was like, dude, 4 years ago, we're on the couch. Anyone can do anything they want to do.
That's amazing.
He's like, we're in our underwear.
I got to watch that. I'm pissed. I only watched a little of it. I'm pissed off.
It was amazing.
Because it's...
And Chance the Rapper, I mean, he's getting a little too much hype. Think about it. He really hasn't done that much.
He is newer, yeah.
The thing, even his body of work, I don't even think he has an album out.
I don't follow his music. So
it's mixed. He's supposed to release a mixtape.
Are you familiar with Lemonade? Or do you know that album?
Yeah,
is it really good?
Yeah, I mean Beyonce's a killer. Her sister won a Grammy too last night. I thought it was interesting.
But Chance is getting a lot of attention because he's not major label. He's just an independent.
He's not a label, but still, like he hasn't. His body of work's really not that impressive. I like the guy. I'm just like, let's relax a little. I'm not buying the hype yet. I'm a bit of a hater as well, though. And then I thought the Bee Gees thing, the tribute to the Bee Gees, was all right. I thought they casted it wrong because they had all females. Then they had whatever big honky tonk, that band or whatever, the four people. I didn't, and I love Demi Lovato. I think she's one of the most talented people in the world, and she's a straight dime piece. I didn't think she was right for the tribute to the Bee Gees.
Is that what she was singing with her mouth really, really, really wide open?
Maybe. I enjoy that. Has a set of teeth on her.
She's got a voice, man. She has got a voice.
She's a strong voice, yeah.
Oh, and then Alicia Keys killed it with that other girl.
She's another one.
Didn't see that one either.
No one watched the goddamn Grammys in there?
Adele. I saw the Adele part.
If I want to watch the Grammys, if I want to watch them, how do I do it? Can I go on?
It's over.
Yeah,
you can see individual performances on YouTube. You can always find clips.
Okay.
You can buy the clips, but you're not going to be able to watch this whole thing.
I can't go to some.com thing.
No, it's not on demand or anything.
I never really watched the Grammys.
Ooh, I never
did, which is terrible.
I don't watch them either. And as you're talking, I'm thinking because I don't know the music and the fashion is so strange to me, and I think I have a judgment on it, not in a bad way. I just always feel like such an outsider, and I don't know it. I'm always
but the presentation's so good.
Yeah,
like Katy Perry's thing was so interesting,
and they're so talented.
And then even Beyonce, I didn't enjoy the performance, but the whole spectacle is insane. They must put hours.
What didn't you enjoy about the Beyonce? Was it just too much going on and not enough music?
No, it just wasn't. I don't know. It's hard. It was so.
She's such
I asked you about the pregnancy.
A little bit like get over yourself.
Yeah,
almost.
That's how I felt.
It was very this grand gold, and she's pictured as Simba of the land.
And she's untouchable and all that.
Which, she's amazing and so fucking talented. But
there's that.
And it literally it literally just BT. I have no problem with it, but it literally went white, BT.
Right.
It's interesting. And I love the Grammys.
Yeah. I'm gonna start singing.
I thought the weekend with Daft Punk was sick. How about Daft Punk? Those guys hate fame so bad they build those $35,000 helmets so people can't recognize them, and yet they have their office right off Sunset. And they say they just sit out front and no one knows who they are, and they're massive stars.
Really,
it's pretty cool.
Damn.
Do you see them in the title commercial? So the title commercial is when all the real big artists like Jay-Z and everyone else meet up to talk about that music hosting site.
Yeah.
It's their play on like Spotify or whatever else.
Did Jay-Z own it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's more expensive one. But they even did the commercial like they were going to a conference room, a real conference room where they were doing a meeting, and they wore those big masks. And it just looked weird.
And it was a commercial?
Can I see those masks?
It's like a behind the scenes look at it.
Bring up their masks. I want their helmets. Because they're crazy expensive, right? Like,
$35,000.
35.
Yeah.
They're really cool.
Daft Punk. Look at that.
The ones last night.
So they wear them, yeah.
That's so
They're
wild.
so
At the awards, they wear them like that too.
Wow. Wow, it's so interesting. And they just go and that's what they wear and that's it. And
Isn't
they
it
never
cool?
take them off.
Well,
I mean,
they don't take them off for like
were they at the
stuff.
awards sitting in their masks?
Oh yeah.
They just kept those on the whole time.
Isn't it great? But there's, I'm sure there's stuff inside where they can breathe and see and shit. And maybe it's virtual reality inside and shit, or food. I don't know.
That's weird.
AC.
And they perform in those, and they sing, and they do all their stuff.
Yeah, isn't it cool? I saw a thing, Daft Punk without a mask.
I'll tell you what, though,
I'm
those
sure
are
there's
cool.
pictures
Those are
somewhere.
cool outfits. So interesting.
But it's like Sia. Is that how you say her name? She wears the wig so people can't see her. They can't recognize her because she hates fame.
Really?
So this is apparently them.
Daft Punk.
I guess those are the guys. But I mean, they do wear that stuff. Even if people recognize who they are, they wear it everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
I wonder if they go to after parties in them. I would be like,
hard
hey,
to
what's
make out
that over
with
there?
girls.
Hey, yeah, there he is.
There he is.
Instagram, world star,
Mean-
world star.
mean bully.
Dick, world star, Daft Punk dick pic.
Hey, man.
You don't want to be famous right now?
There he is.
All right, what else you
That's
got,
such a
Chin?
dick move.
Yeah, it is.
Hey, there they are.
Hey, what's that? Eegoosh. They probably have
Yeah.
strict security with them. What else you got, Chin?
All right. The next one is actually playing on what you said about how it went like an Oreo. It was very black or very white.
Yeah.
So did you actually hear Adele's speech in the end when she was talking about Beyonce and how she inspired her?
Yeah.
She mentioned this one thing during the speech about how you inspired and empowered my friends. You inspired and empowered my black friends. So when she said that, it kind of had this mixed.
God.
feeling.
The
about
racial
social
trolls
media.
came out.
She kissed Beyonce's ass so fucking hard that if anybody has a problem with that, I thought that was too much. I thought her ass kissing was like a little
let me see.
embarrassing.
Here's the actual quote right here.
Like,
So-
you were my favorite.
The way that the way you make me feel and my friends feel, and the way you make my black friends feel is empowering. You make them stand up for themselves, and I love you and will always have and always will. Okay, well, there's zero racist about that.
there's zero.
Anyone that has a problem with that,
Fuck off.
fuck you.
And she did inspire her black friends. She's just telling the truth. Oh no! Also, it's just annoying. Also,
They're singling out black
Don't kiss her ass
people.
that much. Also, Adele, just to own that you're a badass too. Don't kiss her ass that much. It's so exhausting. That's it. That's a little embarrassing to me. I don't know.
Not if Beyonce's
my
your
artist
hero.
of my life is Beyonce.
Yeah, but not if Beyonce's your hero and you just beat her out for a huge award of the year.
All right. Well, it's still a little embarrassing.
I think some people might think it's like she's trying to, like you said, kiss ass too much maybe when she was saying that.
It depends. If it's her hero and she beat her out, she's like, hey, I just want to let you know, me, my friends, even my black friends, we're all inspired by you. There's zero issue with that.
Even my blacks. If she had said my blacks,
Then
If
it
she
would be
dropped
way
an
different.
M-bomb,
my blacks.
if she said, Beyonce, you my ninja, then we got problems.
Adele almost had it right up until the way you make my black. Oh, well, there are always going to be people who have points of view, and I don't care about them. So when Adele got the part, that's just funny. Though.
People are stupid.
It's all good.
Yeah.
What else you got?
One
Jen?
love. Good
And
looking black people right there.
A Dominican
Or brown
Republic
people.
Quit kissing ass. What else you got,
I'm not
Chin?
kissing ass.
A Dominican newspaper did an article about Trump and the Prime Minister of Israel, and they actually used Alec Baldwin's impersonation picture of Trump. It was real. This came out and they apologized for it too.
That is hilarious.
Funny.
Donald must be so furious.
Yeah, look at the picture of him too. It's when
apparently he gets mad at the little hands jokes and
he gets pissed at Saturday Night Live. And Saturday Night Live's ratings have never been higher. How funny is that? They're killing the ratings because of this.
Yeah.
Do you think this is an accident, or someone might have just let it slip by? They said no one.
I could see someone letting it slip by. You know, guy really not know what's going on. Like, yeah, there's a picture of fucking Trump anyways. And then be like, oh, shit, that's Alex Baldwin.
Wow, how about this? Not funny. Cast is terrible. Always a complete hit job. Really bad television. That's Trump.
Just Trump quotes.
Not funny. Cast is terrible. Always a complete hit job.
God.
Really bad television.
God damn it.
But Donald, we're all laughing really hard. It's like Chuck Schumer, who's the leader of the Democratic Party, basically, for all intents and purposes. And he, old-time senator and New York senator, and Donald Trump was like, they always go back and forth. They're both from New York. They both have known each other forever, for years. In fact, Trump gave to his campaign, to Schumer's campaign, even though Schumer's a Democrat for many years. And they've always kind of been, they're kind of friends, but needling each other. And Donald Trump was like, I raised $2 million. He had this thing at his Key Largo, whatever he owns, at Mar-Largo or whatever. I raised $2 million. And Chuck Schumer, in front of everybody, goes, it's actually $263,000, Donald. He's always the one to be like, Donald.
Is that it, Chin?
I got some more. Depends. You want more?
What time is it?
12:30.
We can go with one more.
Like a stone cold out about. I think we're good. All right, do one more.
This one relates to you guys a little bit. So Nick Cannon, he was talking. He has the Showtime special, a comedy special, where he was talking about, you know how he used to host for America's Got Talent?
Yeah.
And he was making a joke about how America's Got Talent makes him kind of lose his black
street
card.
Cred?
Street cred.
Yeah.
He said that he got talked to by the people at NBC saying, like, you can't talk down on, our show, this and that.
I can't make fun of the show.
I mean, that's kind of, it does. You can see the joke in there, though. It makes him lose his swagger.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
So he said that they were like close to letting him go because of that, terminating him because of that. So now he's essentially quitting America's Got Talent because of that. I just remember this because of the whole Fox thing too.
They're so gutless that they like any little thing you say.
Well, but to NBC's defense here, they just warned him like, hey, man, listen, we're paying you a shitload of money. The show's huge. Try not to talk down about the show ruining your reputation because it's also made you a huge star. Yeah. And it's the only reason why you're relevant. Let's be real here. It ain't because of Wild and Now it's on MTV, buddy. Let's be real.
Yeah.
So they're just like, hey, we pay you a shitload of money.
But they're kind of censoring him, right?
Not really. They just brought him in and were like, don't do that. Please try not to do that again.
Try not to go bad on us.
Yeah, don't go bad on NBC for giving you this huge opportunity. And then because
he heard that there was debate about firing him based on his special.
Yeah,
yes.
They're considering,
but they didn't. And then he goes, I quit.
Yeah, I would be pissed off too, though, if they were that shitty to me behind my back for my stand up. I mean,
It was in his stand up or just him on the street?
It was a special.
It was a special on Showtime.
I was punished
for a joke is tough.
Yeah, man.
For a joke on Showtime's different. I thought it was just like an interview or something. They asked about how
it was a stand-up routine.
See, that's different.
Yeah,
because that's a form of entertainment.
And
it's also really it's also really funny.
Yeah, and if we start doing that to comedians, and you can lose your job for what you said on a special or not get hired for something, well, then
no one would have
that's
a job.
outrageous. Nobody would have a job.
I also
and if
don't
you're going to
think
come after comedy for that, fuck you.
I also don't think you can hold like what we do on this show. Like you can't be like, oh my god, Bryan said this or Brendan said that. I don't think if it's entertainment, I don't think you should be held.
Well, we are, and we could be. And this is what happens. This is the tyranny of the politically correct. And and I mean tyranny. This is what happens with I always say progressive leftists are such good people until you disagree with them. And then they'll just take your job away from you. And the right wing is not unguilty of this shit either. But I'm just saying that I spent a lot of time in those progressive left-wing circles, And good luck if you even remotely mention that there's certain things about Trump's platform you maybe think are good or whatever you say.
Well, I wonder with
town.
Nick Cannon I wonder how bad they like. If one guy's just like, dude, come on, man, we're paying a shitload of money. Don't we'd appreciate if you didn't do that, or if it was bad. If like, dude, if one guy high up exec wants to fire him and it's not a fan of him, then I can understand him leaving. I don't know the magnitude of the situation.
Yeah, no one knows that actual conversation.
Yeah.
That's why he went on
his own
Facebook page and said it.
Yeah.
But he says, as a man, an artist, and a voice in my community, I will not be silenced, controlled, or treated like a piece of property. And he's right. And he's 100% right about this. And, I have a little bit of knowledge about how this works in Hollywood. And, I have friends who've paid a price for this, for innocent jokes, for their own artistic expression that might not be cookie cutter and super sweet. We're going back to the 50s. It's the same thing. In the 50s, you better be very careful about what you say. But there's something called freedom of speech, and there's something about giving people the benefit of the doubt, and there's also something called humor, and there's also something called lighten the fuck up, you politically correct people who are tyrannical, who are nerds behind the scene, who use your power because you never had power, to hurt good people like this guy, Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon's not a racist. Nick Cannon he's black, motherfuckers. You shut up. Just shut up. This is what happens. It becomes madness, man. So I'm glad you brought this up so we could talk about it.
Yeah, cool. It is interesting. I like Nick Cannon. Talented dude. He's done
talented.
A bunch
he's cool,
of stuff.
Smart, all that shit.
He makes my black friends feel good.
He makes my blacks. He inspires my blacks. I'll be honest, he inspires my blacks and my whites. See how my whites got really...
My black friends love him. I'm partial to him.
My black friends, my blacks love him. And even my whites think he's
my whites, no, they're lukewarm, Mom. My blacks, celebrate.
You can tell my racial proclivities just by the way I talk about. Well, blacks are... I have some very good black friends, and I have a lot of white friends who are fantastic as well.
Yeah, that is weird.
We might get fired, careful, from our own studio. Oh, I forgot. We own this shit. Hey,
you got to drop in knowledge, buddy?
Yeah, it's the one I dropped in San Francisco that I think is worth talking about.
All right.
I know you always look forward to ones you haven't heard. You're cute. But I think it's interesting to note, and we'll get your
friends in San Francisco. Like, God damn it!
I know, but I think it's interesting that eight people on the planet own more wealth than do 3.6 billion people on this planet. There are 8 people: Warren Buffett, Bill Gates, Ellison. What's his name? The guy from Oracle. The guy who owns Oracle. Mark Zuckerberg, and Jeff Bezos from Amazon, etc. And all of them. I mean, among Carlos Slim, I believe, from Mexico, and another guy who's got a Spanish name. All of them.
Another guy with a Spanish name.
Right.
Sounds like you really looked into this.
Spanish people. I have it.
Me brown people. Brown people like him.
No, I have it here. But the bottom line is, it's interesting that 8 people own that much wealth. 1% of the population in this country owns 42% of the wealth in this country. And it's interesting because you have to remember that people like Jeff Bezos, who owns Amazon, also puts a lot of wealth back in, also has a product all of us use that we like. So it's not like they're kings taking. They also contribute a lot. They also contribute a great deal to charity. They tend to be, there's like this new face on philanthropy, which these people know that because the economy works in a certain way, they are making a crazy amount of money, but they also realize that it comes with a lot of responsibility. So it's interesting. There are a lot of people, and these statistics come from Oxfam International and Forbes magazine. So when I say there are 8 men that are richer than 3.6 billion people, that comes from those 2 sources. I don't know how I feel about it. Obviously, there's something going on with the way our economy, the 21st century economy, is rewarding certain skill sets over others. That could be obviously a big problem. But, then again, is the question, are they actually making the world a better place with their massive companies? That's up for debate. I don't have a strong opinion yet. I don't know. I haven't thought about it yet, but it's kind of interesting.
Cool.
And how many billionaires do you think there are in the world?
Not many, right?
1,810.
That's a lot.
I know. But in the world of 8 billion people,
Yeah.
that's not a lot. 1,810 billionaires around the world, 89% are men, as it should be.
Oh.
Shit. However, 11% are women. There are some, I wonder if there are, let's look up hot female billionaires. I wonder if there is one. She's like 33 and she's a multi-billionaire. She's pretty hot. Things happen to my family. My wife leaves me. I look at her.
Who is that?
No way.
She's a billionaire? Oh, the hot children. Big difference, though.
Oh, hot children. Well, I'll marry them. Hot children.
It sounds terrible.
Yeah, I know. Well, there it is, buddy.
Should we pee then do some fan questions?
Let's just do some fan questions. We got to get you out of here.
It's true.
Fan questions. Fan questions.
It's
time
fan
for some fan questions.
First fan question is from Kelby Bryant, 24.
Kelby
Bryant, 24. The dynamic of Rogan, Anik, and Cormier seemed to be too many voices. It took away from the play-by-play, in my opinion. What do you think?
Definitely not as good as Rogan and Goldberg, was it?
No, I've always said Goldberg.
You know
was
why?
amazing.
Yeah, because like I said, it's hard to find that chemistry. And not that they can't get there, but you have Joe doing the play-by-play. You have DC doing the play-by-play. And then you have John Anik getting washed out. You know, he'll come in and that's the end of round 3. Germaine looking good-headed in round 4, you know?
Yeah.
But he's in the corner because you have these two bold personalities and you have Joe and DC going back and forth with no disagreement, both doing the play-by-play.
Right.
With
Goldie
Goldie and Rogan is a perfect kind of chemistry. Yeah. So maybe they're just feeling it out. Who knows?
Tough to replace Goldie.
But yeah, that's definitely not the same.
I thought he was as good as it gets. I loved Goldie in that position.
I thought he was good. I thought he was perfect for him and Joe Rogan were perfect together. The volley back and forth is what's about the fun and the dynamic.
Yep.
With DC and Rogan and Anik, it was just it's just not there yet. I'm sure to get there. And I also felt like I wanted to hear more from Joe. You're like, oh, it's because your friend. No, it's because he's the best analyst in the game. I want to hear Joe break down more. I'm not too keen on hearing DC and Joe go back and forth and having Anik chime in.
I agree.
I'm sure they'll figure it out, though.
Cool. Next question. Big Steve, 43. Best Korean food in L.A.?
You tell us, Chin. I don't know.
You got this one?
I did. That's for you, brother. My brother said you're going to take us to get Korean fried chicken.
Fried chicken
it's all the madness amongst my Korean friends.
Yeah. Or barbecue.
Amongst my Koreans.
Amongst my Han friends.
McCrees.
Macarees.
Mahans.
Macarees.
McCrees.
But is
Waru is really good. Have you eaten Waru on Lincoln right off of Washington? Outstanding Korean barbecue.
I get my watch
as good as it gets.
Watches fixed right next there.
I ate there and I ate so much food that the next morning I walked my dog. I took a shit in my yard.
Oh, wow.
In my yard.
Hey, Chin, I'm not trying to hear where Bryan wants to get Korean food at. The question was for you. Where should we go?
I would say 3 places. They're all in the same area.
In Koreatown?
Koreatown, Los Angeles. It's called Chapman Plaza. There's Gangho-dong Baekjeong, Agashi Gopchang, and
Agashi Gopchang.
Let me just map quest this.
Agashi
Did you say Gangho-shang?
You guys know how to spell that.
There it is.
Agashi Gopchang.
What was the third?
I like the way Korean sounds.
Me too. It does sound cool.
It's a macho.
What's the
language.
third?
the last one is the toughest one. It's called Quarters.
I'll go to Quarters.
Wait, say the other ones again. I like it.
Gangho-dong Baekjeong,
Gangho-dong Baekjeong.
Baekjeong?
Agashi Gopchang.
Oh,
Agashi
that sounds nice.
Gopchang.
See, I don't want to go to Quarters.
I'm going to
Quarters.
Agashi Gopchang.
Is Quarters
I like the
all
way it
white
sounds.
people? Hi, welcome to Quarters, Korean food.
There are more white people there for some reason.
Not going to Quarters.
Agashi
Fuck
Gopchang.
you, white people run a Korean store.
Koreans are macho. Agashi Gopchang.
Chiga chokampang.
No, Agashi Gopchang.
Chiga chokampang.
Itakcho.
Bad die.
That is Thai.
안녕하세요.
God dang, I mixed them. All right, next question. We'll
right,
definitely
next
check
question.
that out.
X came as, hey, you guys ever heard of a guest that after the show you just thought, man, fuck that person, never again? Or a guest that you really did not like after all was said and done? Let us know.
I've had guests where I knew our fans weren't going to dig them, but we had to go through with it. Hence why we don't work with a booking agent anymore. Bryan and I book our own guests now.
Yeah.
Before, it was like forced, where they would schedule them weeks or months out, and they did a great job. But if it's not with the dynamic and it's, you know, it really doesn't work, it fucks up the show.
Yeah.
Because Bryan and I are on ourselves. They don't know the dynamic of the show. They might be completely into something we're not. It's just not. It felt so awkward. Felt forced, I felt like a lot of times.
True.
There's some guests where we got done. I was like, well, that's not going to go well.
We've done podcasts with people where we haven't aired it because it was just...
When we were at Fox, not here. When we were at Fox, we had like one or two where we just couldn't do it.
Yeah.
They were just either...
terrible,
just awful. We're like, there's no show, and so we wait for him to leave, and then we just did our own.
Yeah.
Wow.
We've also had guests that seemed really great on camera and mic, and then they get off, and you're like, oh, serial killer. Oh, that's weird.
You know who I missed, and I wish hopefully he's doing well. Is that Kristen Beck? Remember the Navy SEAL?
Yeah, she was cool.
We went to lunch with her afterwards.
Well, we were at lunch though. She was like in a dress, and and obviously a guy. But she was in a terrible dress. Well, I know she feels like a woman, but at the time she was still like very much a guy biologically, and she was taking hormones though, and but she was still a killer, like still a Navy SEAL, and she was like. We were talking about shooting, and I was saying, you seem to really, like, you teach a pistol class. She goes, yeah. She goes, I was like, how do you? She goes, well, that's a headshot right there. That's a headshot. That's a headshot. And she had already looked at everybody in the room.
Analyzed the room.
And she was able to, like, literally not look. She said, I could hit that dude in the head and not look with my pistol.
Anyway, I just missed her.
It was interesting to see.
I hope she's doing well.
She was a contradiction.
She was really cool, man.
Cool. Yeah, we liked her, man.
Is that the last one, Chin?
We liked her.
There's one more?
Bring it.
All right. Juanbot12. What's the best, worst Valentine's Day story for everyone in the studio?
I have one years ago. I mean, years and years. I think I was in college. I had this girlfriend, and she was house sitting some fancy house. She was in college. Like, fancy house. Hell yeah, I'm going to go and crash there. And so I went out and bought, like, Flaming Young, crab. I bought all this stuff. Roses, right? Trying to make it all romantic. And there was this, I mean, it was this fucking colossal king crab leg, and for whatever reason she like got it. She's like, I just can't open it. I can't. I'm like, give me that fucking thing. And I go, hey, Juice, and the crab goes, and the shell cut my hand like you wouldn't believe, and blood goes all over her food, my food, their white carpet. I mean, just like a horror movie. God. She goes, no! And I was like, oh my, this is like out of a movie. I can't eat any of this. And I'm not supposed to be here, and your carpet is stained red. That's my time.
The only one I had, and I probably told you the story, was this girl who was a comic, had the biggest real tits I've ever seen in my life. I had never seen tits like that in my life. It was the biggest tits I've ever seen in my life. And she had this really kind of like, she was tall, but she had this super kind of like relaxed voice. And then she didn't have a Valentine, and she was so bummed. And I was like, well, she goes, I don't really believe in it, but I go, well, we're both comics. Come to my place. Let's watch a movie. Hint, hint. So I can grab your, I was like, we'll watch a movie and relax. She's
Netflix
like, okay.
and tits.
And she used to tell jokes, and she was such a bad comic. She was the worst comic in the world. And she's like, yeah, okay, that's great. Next thing you know, makey out, kissy. She pulls those things out. I was like, this is the biggest, nicest tit.
Yeah.
They were so ridiculous.
Yeah.
They were like
Happy Valentine's Day,
cartoon
Bryan.
tits.
Couple 1-2 peepers.
Cartoon tits. I was like,
them Valentine's Day peepers.
I was like, what do I do with these? I just kept going, Jesus, they're so big. They're so fucking big.
Good times.
Right. And then I think I was trying to get her pants off. I was like, come on, It's like, I don't know. Long story short, she doesn't want to go all the way or something like that. And then she goes to the bathroom, and then she's taking a little bit too much time. And I'm like, that's weird. All right, well, let's keep this movie on pause then, because she's taking her time. She goes, don't pause it, don't worry. I'm like, but I better pause it.
She didn't want silence.
So she comes out, and then I go, I got to piss. So I go in to piss.
She
and
blew
I was
it
like,
up?
well, you just pooed in my bathroom.
Oh.
And as I came back
sound
out,
like she was playing the bongos and not on her
as I
tits?
came back, she goes like this. She's looking at me all coy. And she goes, I ate Chinese food. Sorry.
Oh.
And I was like, ah!
Oh.
Yeah. And I was like, well, I guess we won't be having any sex here because you took a dump.
Ugh.
I also, if I remember,
bro.
there was a girl in college, I'm in college. I met her over the summer. She was very hot. And we were at her house. She made me terrible pasta, and I went to the bathroom. I had to shit.
Yeah.
And I went, but you know how you try to figure out a way to like make sure nothing quickly.
Yeah. Flush twice.
Well, that didn't fool her. And I swear to God, we had sex, and I swear to God, I never forgot. I'm embarrassed to even say the way she said it. She goes, she went down on the old bunny hole, like about, not then, but like a couple, like, I don't know, like a week later.
Sure.
She went down on the bunny hole, and I was like, whoa. I never had that.
Trying to chocolate cover that tongue?
I was like, what the fuck is going on here? And she goes, I like doing that. I would have done it to you the other night, but you took a dump. I was so embarrassed. I was like, I'm fucked up because you're into my butthole, which I'm already weird.
How about this freak goes,
I'm so
I would have went to that bunny hole, but you took a shit.
Yeah, and the way she said it.
No bunny hole for you?
I would have done it last week, but you took a dump. Like that. It just sat there, and I was like, I'm so embarrassed. I'm still embarrassed by that whole fucking situation.
Hilarious, though.
It's hilarious.
If you want to hear more of these bunny hole dump stories, Bryan Callen's going to be in Nashville at Zany's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yes, this Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Do not miss. I'm at Zany's.
Then Bryan and I are at the Comedy Store tonight on Kill Tony's show.
Yep.
And boom.
Well,
I think that's
that was
it,
our
right?
Bunny Hole Diaries.
Bunny Hole Diaries.
Dirtbag Diaries.
Dirtbag Diaries. Chocolate Tongue Diaries.
Yeah, that was the Bunny Hole Diaries.
All right, y'all. Thanks for listening. This is The Finding the Kid. We're out.